This is Yvonne Sims. In this episode of Strong and Courageous, I'll be featuring Tameeka Tisdale, an energetic woman. Now here's with Tameeka how trusting God has blessed her life.
My name is Tameeka Michelle Tisdale, and an adjective that best describes me is energetic. Coming up, I was a follower, and I pretty much did everything else everyone else did. And so I was just continually following and going and doing what other people did. So I didn't have no direction. I didn't have no motivation. And I pretty much was a follower. I had no clue of who I was here on earth. I got pregnant at a young age. I was pregnant at 18, and I had my son when I was 19. Once I got pregnant, I realized I had to mature. I had to grow up. I couldn't pretty much do what I wanted to do. It was time for me to make change. I knew that I wanted the best life for my child, and I did what it possibly took to make that happen. As a single parent, I could not do everything I tried to do on my own, I couldn't do it. It failed. My way did not work. My way never worked. And so when I got to a point in my life where I just got sick and tired of failure, that's when I turned to God. And I said, you know what? I'm going to try this God out. I'm going to see what he's going to say about it, or I'm going to see what he's going to do about it. And I opened my heart to him. I got saved in the year of 2000. And once I gave my life to Christ, everything changed. I started seeing different things. I had a new perspective on life. I had a new perspective as a person. I valued myself. I respected myself. I carried myself in a great way. I wasn't allowing certain things to happen. I matured by having my children young, pushed me into maturity at an early age. So I had to learn how to work, and I had to learn about responsibilities early in life. But through it all, when I got saved and I gave my life to the Lord, he spoke to me in a way that I've never heard in my life. And he spoke to me and told me that he loved me. And when he shared that with me, I felt something. And that something latched onto him quickly, and I've never let go. And he's never failed me. I tried God over and over and over, and he always passed the test, because I would test God and say, okay, you say you love me, you're going to do this for me, do this. I need you to handle this. And he showed himself. He proved himself to me. And ever since then, the relationship developed between God and I. I was working a regular full-time job, and I had my own place. I had my 2 small children, and my job, my paycheck never was enough money. Never was enough money, just for basic household living. I had daycare fees, car note, regular rent, lights, water, phone bills. I had the basic needs for living. And so I said, God, I'm not going to go to my mother. I'm not going to go to my father. I'm not going to go to my grandmother. I'm not going to go to the people that I normally go to for help. This time, I'm coming to you. And I said, you said that for us to come to you boldly and ask and be specific and make our requests known for what we need. And I told him, I said, I need for you to supply gas for me, and I need for you to supply groceries for me. And once I prayed that prayer, I would think it was 2 to 3 days later, I get an unexpected check in the mail that did not make no kind of sense to me. The third day, I think it was the third day, and I said, you know what? I went to the mailbox, checked the mail, and it was a check. It was a check for some money that was owed to me that I had no clue how the money was owed to me, but I knew it was God. And I felt in my spirit, this is God. And it don't make sense, because I never knew of me being owed any money being owed to me. And not only that, he sent the check on the third day. Well, Jesus rose on the third day. And so when I got that understanding, I said, okay, God. And then it was one thing after another. I wasn't using the regular routes that I was going to need money. Anytime I needed a help with something, I would always come to him, and he would show up in many different forms. He was confirming himself through checks in the mail, through people calling me out of the blue that I really want close to. They were calling me and saying, hey, you were on my mind today. Is there anything you need? And I would just question, and I was questioning him in the beginning like, yeah, but what do you mean? Is there anything I need? But I had to learn that it was God. And I had to get familiar with what he was doing, and I had to take my eyes off of the normal way of doing things when I was in need of help. Move your feelings and your emotions, because this journey is not about how you feel. It's about trusting God and being led by the Holy Spirit. God said, trust me, prove me. And that means he wants us to be dependent upon him. He also allows things to happen in order for him to get the glory. So therefore, you have to understand, think it not strange when money comes up short. God told me one time, he said, the reason why I won't allow you to make enough money is because you'll depend on the money and not me. So I encourage men and women today, move your feelings to the side, because it's a nervous place. You get scared. You got that bill that's due. You got whatever it is, that deadline is coming. But trust God. He can move mountains. He can do anything. Nothing is hard for the Lord. And he intentionally allow things to happen in order for him to get the glory. And if you ever get in a situation repeatedly, understand that it is God saying you ain't passed the test yet. You need to look at me. I'm allowing you to go through this again because you're not passing the test. You're trying to figure and work this thing out on your own when God is saying, turn it over to me. I want to show you what I can do. I want to show you who I am. I cannot lie. Then I had to learn how to put his word and put it right at his feet. His word, he cannot go against his word. God, you said that you will be my provider. You said that you're an on-time God, that you are a present help in a time of trouble. I need you now. And just sit back. There's two sides to prayer. You say your part, and then you hush and you listen and allow God to say his part. Because once God say what he has to say, it's final. If he already tells you the bill is paid, it is not for you to worry about how he's going to do it. That's just mentally draining itself. It is your job to just trust. Don't know or don't worry about how he's going to do it, where the money's going to come from. Just trust. Keep your eye focused on him, because his word says if you keep your eye focused on Jesus, he'll give us perfect peace. And peace is something that the world can't give us. And when we're in a time of trouble, when we need money for this, money for that, clothes, shoes, gas, food, whatever the case may be, we have to stay focused on God, because we'll start sinking, just like Peter did. When he stepped out the boat, Jesus told him to come. He stepped out the boat, and he started looking to the side and to the left. He started sinking. So we have to keep our focus on God.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Strong and Courageous. I'm your host, Yvonne Sims. To hear more stories of strength and courage, visit my website at YvonneSims.com or my Facebook page at Yvonne Sims. Until next time, beloved, be strong and courageous.